Well, hello there, everyone. I'm Ashley Eckstein. Most of you may know me as the voice of Ahsoka Tano and also the founder of her universe. And this is the legend of the Traveling Tardis.
My name is Christian Basil. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. Hello, fellow Whovians. Welcome to another edition of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. For those of you who are coming back to us, welcome back. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, if you're watching us on the Twitch channel, and if you're watching us on our Facebook pages over at Wizard World and over at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, we want to thank you for joining us. We have a wonderful special guest today. Spoilers. Yeah. And we're going to introduce her right now. So let me go ahead and bring on the team and introduce the team as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, to my far left, all the way down at the very end, it's Melanie Dean. How you doing there, Melanie? From Pieces of Melee on the Instagram.
Yes! Hello, everybody. We're starting to get back into con season. It's kind of crazy. We've done it. We're still going to be smart about things and wear our masks and try to, even if we're trying to prevent con crud, come on, people, we can do this together. But yeah, we're back into the full swing of things. So San Diego starting. We've got stuff from Wizard, our partners at Wizard World. We've got our partners at Fanboy. We're getting going. So I'm super excited about this particular episode because a very, very special guest that we have tonight is going to be at a few of those conventions I mentioned. So here we go.
She's geeking out as we speak. I'm telling you that the lovely Melanie Dean there. Speaking of lovely, welcome there, Nisha Mulchin from Diversely Geek. How you doing there, Nisha?
I was like, you forgot me, man.
What?
Since I've been on the show. Oh my God.
I know. It's been a while. How you doing?
We're doing great. We're just coming back from Washington, D.C., attending BlurredCon for the first time. And yeah, awesome. Full swing on the con season. And I can't wait for the kickoff for San Diego Comic-Con's Comic-Con at Home tomorrow.
No. Are you going to be with me and Melanie next week? Oh, we're getting a 3D thing going on your back camera out there. You're going to be at a certain con next weekend. We're going to mention it. We're going to talk about that later on. Definitely. Speaking of lovely, here's the lovely Jessica Womack from Song Swan Cosplay, our lovely River Song, our premier River Song. How you doing there?
You're doing good. Happy to be back on the show and just can't wait for the conventions. They're finally happening. I'm so excited.
Jessica was kind enough to be at Central Florida Comic-Con just this past month, and we had a great time. You also headed up the team, which basically was your husband, I think.
I know. Everyone else had other things, and I was like, well, okay, we've got a TARDIS full size behind me, and we're both cosplayers, so it was a blast.
I was jealous.
Everyone had so much fun. Oh, yeah. I was like, can we have this every time? Can we,
I know, Lewis just says, I'm going to have a TARDIS by over there. I'm like, I wanted a TARDIS. I don't have a full-size TARDIS. I just have little boy blue over here.
We got to work on this.
I know. And finally, the lovely Dave Chapman from theRatHole.ca. How you doing there?
It's good. I'm very glad, because I think Melanie probably was expecting me to rip on you because you were not going to say beautiful. So I'm glad you did. Hello, Christian.
Okay, we're done with you now. That's it. Speaking of beautiful, how you doing, the Keisha? We want to welcome everybody into the chat. If you want to speak to our lovely guest as well as Team TARDIS today, by all means, chat away in our YouTube channel, the Wizard World Facebook page, the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS Facebook page. I want to say Dan to hi. That's right. Carl Witzman. I'm not. Get it together, Kristen. Shut up. Carlene, woo, made it. So, yes, you guys are on time. The Sultan of Segways needs a new clock. I just found out that word is segways. Oh, the doctors are here. Ashley, you're going to be introduced to a team of people, team of our friends. The doctors love to get into our chats here. So you may be chatting away with the doctors. First one is the 12th Doctor. What do 13th and 10th Doctor have that I don't?
The real estate had to go.
Oh, the place on the wall.
The real estate that I usually put the 13th Doctor, unfortunately, is my
as you can see, Melanie is
my
an artist.
My autograph from my universe, her universe bag from eons ago at a San Diego Comic Con. So
as you can see, Melanie is an artist, and the doctors, all of them up here, and they fight for the wall behind her. I have no idea why. Speaking of guests. Everybody, we want to welcome the lovely Ashley Eckstein from her universe. Welcome to the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. You are such a delight to be here. Thank you for joining us there. And the 12th Doctor will not stop talking. Oh, there's 13.
They're all on there just shouting at one another. Sorry.
I love it. I love it. Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be here. So good to see you all again. And yeah, I echo, I'm excited to get back to cons. I've been to Pensacon already. I'm getting ready to go to GalaxyCon Raleigh. And then, what else? After that, I'm going to Fanboy Expo Orlando. Super excited about that because that's, hometown girl. And then where else? Lexington Comic-Con, FanX Salt Lake, and Rhode Island Comic-Con. So very excited.
Busy girl there. Busy there. Now, one thing that I just found out recently, which is really just kind of irks me, it's one of those things about finding out about people or friends. It's just like, you are a Florida girl as well.
Yes.
You're a Florida girl. And I was like, oh, she worked at Disney. There is no way in heck we didn't even cross paths along each other.
You had to have. I grew up here from the time I was literally 18 months old until I graduated from high school, and then met my husband and moved back in 2008. And I go all over because my job, takes me to California, and, our office is actually out in California. But yeah, Florida's always been home.
Now, I know you did entertainment at Disney, but were you like me? Did you work any of the attractions or the merchandise, or were you?
I mostly actually just did entertainment.
Okay, cool. So, that's why we didn't meet.
Yeah. I did a variety of things in entertainment, and then moved away after I graduated from high school, and then, like I said, came back. So, but I feel like because of Ahsoka and her universe, I've now worn many hats at Disney. I'm like, I feel like a member of the Disney family.
Oh yeah. Well, before I left, I was there for about 8 years. Did about 30 attractions and 30 merchandise shops, and I was opening crew for Animal Kingdom, opening crew kind of. I just missed it for Rock and Roller Coaster, and I was opening crew, and there were actually 2 opening crews. The one that didn't make it, and I was on the second one that did make it for Test Track, Epcot's Test Track out there. So
that is
so
cool.
Paint me again. Go away.
They're all yelling at each other in there.
Now, in honor of her universe, I'm going to turn it over to Melanie Dean because today is her podcast. So flip. Yay! There you go. So, Melanie, take it away.
Okay, so if people are not familiar with her universe, I'm just kind of got a little backtrack for our audience because a lot of us here, huge fans of your products. You, especially from the very beginning, where I've gushed about this to you at your booth, like just yelling. So I'm sorry that for getting into it again. But you were able to come up with the whole idea behind supply and demand, and that you found a niche market where at that time when you first started, there wasn't really a lot of female cut, female made items. Everything was t-shirts that, you go to Hot Topic and, female presenting people would, happily wear them. But, you kind of wanted something a little bit more with a smaller sleeve or a larger size and whatnot. And then that's where you came in. So once you found this market, it blew up and it got better and better. So my question to start off would be, what made you really kind of get into the fashion industry? What made you get into this idea of, I have an idea for a product, let's do this, and then licensing? That can go later on.
Well, yeah. So
that's a loaded question.
Huge question. So what made you go? You know what? I'm going to do her universe. What made you first have that spark of inspiration?
Yeah. Well, it actually, I'm going to take it a step back from
Absolutely.
what I normally tell, since I feel like, you know, on a podcast, we can, you know, go a bit more in detail.
Yeah.
So I was acting full time in LA, and I had already become the voice of Ahsoka at that point, but Clone Wars was not out yet. Mm-hmm. So no one knew about Clone Wars. And my husband used to play baseball, and he had signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. So we had to actually move to Toronto. And I needed to be with him because he had a bunch of injuries. Mm-hmm. And so I had to go with him to doctor's appointments and everything. And so I couldn't be in LA as much for auditions and work as I normally would be. And all of a sudden, I got calls from my agents and managers, and they all dropped me. And they said, if you're not in LA and you're not auditioning, that means you're not working and you're not making us money. And if you're not making us money, then you're no good to us. And that's literally what happened. So I found myself in Toronto, Canada, sitting on my couch and going from an actress where I was working quite a bit. I mean, I was a full-time actress. I had developed, you know, a pretty decent career from the time I'd moved there to nothing, you know, except Clone Wars. And I know people may say like, well, that's not nothing, but remember, it wasn't out yet. Mm-hmm. And shows get canceled all the time. And I know you could also say, well, hey, it's Star Wars, but we didn't know. You know, it's most of everything I had ever done was it gets canceled after the first season. So, you know, I wasn't taking for granted that, you know, that it would be what it is today. Okay. So, you know, of course I had a moment of obviously devastation because I'm like, well, what am I going to do now? But then I thought, okay, instead of looking at what I can't do, I need to look at what I can do. Mm-hmm. And I had a laptop, I had a cell phone, and I was the voice of Ahsoka for Clone Wars. And I started brainstorming ideas. And in the sports world, Alyssa Milano had just started a line for female sports fans. And it was women's t-shirts and jerseys and jewelry and accessories. And I loved it. And I bought one of everything because I was a big baseball fan. And I thought, man, I want some more Star Wars clothes made for me. And, you know, just like I had for baseball through Alyssa's line. And I actually went shopping thinking that I would find stuff. Mm-hmm. And I came up empty-handed. And I started doing my research because I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Why is there no Star Wars merchandise for female fans? Like, I scoured the internet. I went on StarWars.com. It was almost like embarrassing at the time because they had a men's watch in the women's section. That's all that was in the women's section was a men's watch. And I thought, this just doesn't seem right because when I go to conventions, it feels like it's almost 50-50, like just as many women as there are men. So I started doing my research. I found out that 45% of all Star Wars fans at the time were women and girls. Remember, this is back in like 2008, 2009. And then 85% of all consumer purchases were being made by women. And I'm not a mathematician, but those numbers were not adding up. Like, if you make us stuff, we will buy it. And so I continued my research, and I found out, I read story after story of women and girls who are being bullied and being bullied terribly for just being a Star Wars fan and liking Star Wars. So I thought, you know, this isn't right. Like, Star Wars is to me a story of hope. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a story of good overcoming evil. You can't put a gender on that. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, Star Wars is for everyone. So I'm like, we need to have equal representation for everyone. And maybe if we have more merchandise made for female fans, women and girls would feel more comfortable being themselves and saying, hi, I'm a girl and I like Star Wars. So I literally asked myself, what would Ahsoka do? And I knew nothing about starting a business, but my answer was that Ahsoka would stand up for fangirls and that she would design merchandise and you know, make a community for female fans. So that's what I did. And I could do that from my couch with a laptop and a cell phone. And so, yeah, that's kind of the origin story of it. And really, I mean, this week, as we talk about the fashion show, we're talking a lot about community. Mm-hmm. And one thing I has been my strict rule from the beginning is that Her Universe must always be two parts. It's a merchandise line and a lifestyle brand, but more importantly, it's a community. And I truly don't care if people don't ever buy a single thing from us. What I care about is that they come to our community and they feel safe and they feel supported and they feel empowered. And that is what it's about for me.
No, that's one thing I've noticed as your merchandise line has grown and grown, and your brand identity has evolved over time. It's almost as if, yes, the title was Her Universe, but you've really started going, oh, well, it's not just about her. It's about it. Please come along with us within this journey. Actually, where you keep expanding.
I don't mean to cut you off, but somebody had mentioned it very well in this chat.
Our universe. Our universe. Yeah. So we actually launched Our Universe back in 2017. So it's been about 4 years ago now, because my goal from day one was not to say that, these stories that we love are just for women and girls. They're not just for men and boys. They're not just for women and girls. They're for everyone. And so that was my goal. It was never to almost like do the same thing that they were saying about men and boys and say, oh no, it's just for her. I never wanted that. I wanted to say it was for everyone. And so as we evolved and it did become a more inclusive environment for everyone, I did always say, because people started asking me pretty early on, they said, well, what about his universe? And I said, well, I said, look at the rest of the convention floor. It's kind of his universe. But I said, I will start making men's fashion or, stuff for boys if I feel like they're not getting the same things that the women are getting. Mm-hmm. Because again, wanting to go with that inclusive message. And sure enough, as we started to make more fashion, the men and the boys were like, hey, wait a minute, we don't have any fashion. We want fashion. Mm-hmm. And so that's when we started getting into and making stuff for men and boys, is so we could have cohesive collections for everyone. Mm-hmm. Because again, these stories are for everyone. Yeah. Nisha's actually wearing our Universe shirt. That was one of our original Our Universe shirts, and that is a unisex shirt.
It is a unisex shirt.
Well, that's the thing that I always found was so personally was so impressed by the brand, was that you identified a vacuum in the market and going, okay, we need to fulfill this need. And then you realized that it needed to be more, where it wasn't necessarily just women at first, but that aspect of growth, and where it was fashion forward and not just like time for me to rep the fact that you could have something that was this was a San Diego buy, and FYI to everybody out there, if you see something at a convention, get it then and there, because it's not necessarily, maybe some items are limited runs, but there's going to be a lot of demand for her supply, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually retail in general now. Mm-hmm. If you see something you really like, it's usually a part of a collection that's just for that quarter, what they call, which is usually just about 3 to 4 months. And once it's sold out, it's gone. Like it's not remade, because there's something that's coming right behind it to fill its space. Mm-hmm. And so that's definitely the case. If you're a fan, I mean, there's very few things like what Nisha's wearing. That's what we call like an evergreen shirt, where we try to restock it because we get so many comments. Yeah. But for the most part, it's in and it's out. So if you see it and you like it, I would definitely get it.
How far ahead do you have to do your forecasting for your products? Because I mean, for fashion, I know it's seasonal. Usually it's a year out, but you are grabbing brands and licensing. So that's a whole other aspect for time. But I've noticed that also your brand isn't necessarily just on what's currently coming out. To your point, like with Clone Wars, you knew Clone Wars was coming out, but you don't know how the legs were going to be at that time. But you're also looking at things, like for instance, Star Wars, where you're looking back, where you're generating, original trilogy stuff, and you're finding all these other little fandoms. So how do you forecast what you want to try going for?
Ooh, well, it's a little easier now with the help from Hot Topic because, some people know, but back at the end of 2016, I actually sold Her Universe to Hot Topic, where I got to continue to run Her Universe under the Hot Topic family of brands, because it's actually a whole family of brands. And it's been an amazing opportunity because Her Universe was growing so quickly, and it was going well, but we weren't able to keep up with the growth. And all of a sudden, I'll be honest, we had competitors, and our competitors were Target and Disney, and just being so small, it was going to be very, very hard to continue to grow and keep up. And so I feel very fortunate. It was a very good thing to be able to join the Hot Topic family of brands. And, they let me continue to run the brand for several years. And then I was able to get an amazing team. I have an incredible Her Universe team. If any of them are watching it, shout out to the whole team that really kind of help run the business day to day. And I am very fortunate to still, it's my baby. I hope to always be a part of it, but it's definitely grown. It's like my baby went off to college, and it's really what's best for it. Some people say, well, I wish, you hadn't done that. And the truthful answer is Her Universe might not still exist if I didn't, because it was growing so quickly. It needed bigger parents, I guess I should say. So yeah, I feel very fortunate that, to be a part of the Hot Topic family of brands, we do have access to so many more licenses. And so that's why you have seen so much more from Her Universe, is because we have the ability to work with so many more different studios. So yeah, I mean, it's exciting. There's always something new coming out. There's always a new collection. And then going back to your timeline question, we work anywhere from 6 months to a year out. Like, for example, I just designed a collection that is for next August. So, especially if we work with Disney, it's a year out. And, for Her Universe now, we're working on like May and June. So we're so far ahead of time that sometimes it can be difficult because, you're trying to figure out, well, what do people want next year?
Right.
All right. Well, I don't mean to cut you off, Ashley. We do have to pay some bills. We got to go to a commercial break. When we return, we're going to continue our conversation with Ashley Eckstein from Her Universe. When we return, plus, I've got something to add when we come to the commercial break. It's a testament to you, Ashley. You're going to love this. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, and become part of the legend.
Bateman.
What's the Bateman?
A novel set in Florida, written by Florida author D.L. Havlin. Suspense, mystery, and murder.
Evidence is in the bait.
The Bateman is available at local bookstores and online.
Jackie Sonnenberg's My Soul to Keep is a ghost story rooted in the realities of actual cults. When 13-year-old Sky Monroe arrives at her new boarding school, all she can think about is death and connecting with the afterlife. Soon she discovers her school's spirituality group, the Guardians of Light, and they have a secret. They can speak with the dead, and the organization is a cult. But this isn't Sky's only problem. The campus house where Sky resides is haunted, and even the ghosts have an agenda. They intend on getting the souls they want. Filled with mystery and intrigue plucked straight from the headlines, author Jackie Sonnenberg's research and attention to detail give this ghost story an even more eerie atmosphere. Find My Soul to Keep on Amazon.com today.
If you're watching this on the Wizard World YouTube, on the Wizard World Facebook page, our YouTube channel, which has just, Ashley, we became partners. We became the partner program just this Monday with YouTube, which is really, really an exciting news out there. As well as if you're watching us on the Twitch channel or on the Legend of the Traveling Tardis Facebook page, we want to thank our friends at GeekInsider.com, powered by GeekInsider.com.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
Hi there, folks. Welcome back to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. For those of you just joining us, welcome to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil, and we have a special guest today, Miss Ashley Eckstein from Her Universe. Now, Jessica's got a question, but I really... Oh, hi there. The working the Historical Fiction Guild, Mr. Nicholas Tucker. The working behind merchandising IP is fascinating. This is an education and enlightening interview. There you go. Oh, got some advice out there. Now, before we go to Jessica's question, I just want to show you. This is a testament to you. Let me go ahead and bring up a particular picture. This is our friend, Faith Kelly. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because that is your jacket.
Yes.
Faith was featured on the Doctor Who Twitter page.
The BBC, the official one.
The official BBC one. And that was the picture that was tweeted out. So just want to let you know, that's your jacket on Faith. And she's she's actually our premier 13th Doctor cosplayer, and she is awesome and delightful. But I could not go without introducing Faith. And if you get a chance, I think it's 101 cosplays to see on Instagram there. So there you go.
Oh, wow. Faith, please tell Faith she looks amazing. Oh, my gosh. And thank you for rocking Her Universe. That's incredible.
Speaking of rocking your universe, Jessica, you had a question for Ashley. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, first I had to, put my lovely. So this baby just made it to 12,000. Oh, what was the height? Over 12,000 feet. I climbed a mountain last week wearing this. We did over 1,000 feet hike. It was 9 miles round trip. So it was amazing. It was great. And I this was my only workout top that I brought with me. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. We'll push through, and I will channel Ahsoka doing it. It'll be great. So I love it, and I don't know if this has hit the highest point on Earth yet for Her Universe, but it's possible. Like on the ground, we should do a because next time I go, I'm hitting a 14er. I'm gonna go 14,000 in the air, but for right now, it's on a 12,000.
Well, congratulations. That is totally something Ahsoka would do. So really,
it was not fun, but it was a blast once I got up there. Once I got up there, it was amazing. It was beautiful, but that elevation, it's a tough one. But yeah, so I'm a little mad, Melanie, because your question, you actually, Ashley, you ended up. No. I didn't have the same question. I didn't have the same question, but you answered my question. But maybe there's another instance, which has there been a time or moment within your career where you felt limited? And I feel like the one that you answered was kind of like you hit a wall versus being limited based off of, because the development of Her Universe, which I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 8, and the amount of times my mom told me, you can't wear that's a boy's shirt, and I was like, but I love Star Wars. She was like, but it's a boy's shirt, you can't wear it. So thank you so much for bringing me
12
clothes that I can wear, and my mom doesn't get on to me for it being a boy's shirt. But is there a moment just even in your acting career where you've just felt limited by the fact that maybe you were female, or especially in a fandom that is dictated a little bit by men until recently? I know recently we've got some amazing female authors, that have been coming out, and that's been kind of recent though, and you've been a part of, the Star Wars world for much longer. So I didn't know if there was a time that you felt limited by that.
I mean, the answer is yes. I think there's many instances where I felt limited, and honestly, it never stops. Like, there's never a moment where all of a sudden just everything works out and it's like, okay, I finally made it, and it's good, and everything works out. That's never the case. There's always brick walls. There's always dead ends, and there's always things that don't go your way. And, for me, whether it be acting or whether it be, her universe, I developed a plan, and it's funny. I learned it from my mom, and I didn't even realize I did this because, this is what she taught me to do, and it was subconscious. But when I was starting her universe, I consciously made it a plan, and I call it the alphabet plan. Mm-hmm. So growing up, when something would fail, my mom would say, okay, well, plan A failed, go to plan B. And then when that would fail, she'd say, okay, well, that's okay. Plan B failed, go to plan C. And it just kept on going down the alphabet. And so when I got the idea to start her universe, Lucasfilm actually told me no, and they told me no twice. And they said no, but then they said, but. And oftentimes people hear the word no, and then they just stop. Well, the most important time to listen is after the word no. Listen for the no, but. Because usually they're not saying no, for good. Mm-hmm. It's no, but you're not doing it the right way. And if you did it the right way, then maybe that no would be a yes. So that was the case for me. I wasn't going about it the right way. So Lucasfilm said no, but, we only work with reputable companies, and we only give out licenses. Because I didn't even understand, back to, I want to make sure I'm saying it right, the Historical Fencing Guild. I didn't understand licensing. I didn't even know what IP meant, intellectual property. I didn't know what any of that meant. I thought Lucasfilm made all of the merchandise themselves. And so I didn't understand any of this. So I wasn't going about it the right way. And they actually were doing me a favor by telling me no. So they weren't telling me no to my idea. They were telling me no to how I went about it. Mm-hmm. So once I took a step back and I said, okay, well, if I start a reputable company and if I apply for a license, then maybe they'll say yes. So that's what I did. I went away. I started her universe. I actually hired a consultant for 3 months to teach me about licensing. And then I went back to, and then I actually partnered with a manufacturing company, which was a reputable company who could help me with the license and making the merchandise. And then together we went back to Lucasfilm, and I said, okay, I did what you told me to do. I started a company. I partnered with a reputable company to make merchandise, and then we'd like to apply for a license. And once I did that, then they actually said yes, and they were incredibly supportive. So whatever it is I feel like you do in life, the alphabet plan applies to everything. I think there's very few no's. I think there's mostly maybes and yeses, and oftentimes there's very few hard no's. So you just have to listen for the but and figure out, okay, well, how do I need to adjust to get it to a maybe and then a yes? And there's a lot of letters in the alphabet.
It almost seems like you have to think of this more from the idea, from an artistic perspective, being critiqued rather than being the door being slammed in your face and saying no. But it's you don't want to go in with a portfolio work and hear everything bad about it. But that's what makes you better. You don't want to be gushed at and go, oh, I love this, I love this. You want to be told, how do I make myself better? And it seems like that your mom kind of taught you with okay, we've got 26 letters. Yeah, we can keep, you're just going to get better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
You actually touch on that in the book. It's Your Universe. Quite a lot, actually. It's like a little Bible for me. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, the key really is, and I know it sounds cliche, but it really is never giving up. It's persistence. It's, even the Her Universe fashion show, which I haven't talked a lot about, but I had the idea for the fashion show, and it took essentially a year and a half. So it took 2 Comic-Cons to actually happen. And there was a lot of brick walls and a lot of roadblocks to even get it to be a fashion show. But every single time we'd have a call at Comic-Con, and Comic-Con was always supportive. Like they always Like the idea, they were like, wow, we would love to do that. But there were so many things that we had to work through and logistics to figure it out that every single call, they would give me like a list of questions, and I'd be like, okay, well, some answer that I had, but then some I'd be like, I've got to get back to you on that. On the next call, I'll get back to you on that. So it was always like, it was never a yes in the beginning. It was always a maybe. And then I just kept on getting maybes until eventually it was a yes.
It's small, tiny fact about, fun fact from me, about the first Her Universe fashion show is I got to go in a little early to sit down. And I remember your husband, because my husband, who's a huge baseball fan, pointed out, he's like, that's David Eckstein. I'm like, oh, that's the husband of her. And so I'm a huge fan of you. He was like, no, you don't understand. He was MVP, of World Series. I'm like, shh, what? And he goes, look, he's moving chairs. And I went, what? And he was literally grabbing chairs. Like he had like four chairs at a time, bless him, and was resetting chairs for the fashion show. So I was always impressed just how boots on the ground both of you were. And it wasn't just like something that you guys were managing from, over here, that literally was like, oh, there needs to be more seating. And there went your husband. And then you were doing this. And so that was just always kind of a neat little extra piece of how invested both of you were in making the fashion show just absolutely amazing. And
it's funny you bring up that story because it's also Her Universe. What a lot of people don't realize is that my husband and we owned Her Universe. So we had to teach ourselves everything from forecasting to factory audits to licensing to contracts. I was a full-time actress, and then I thought I could do both, which I did my best. But the reason I didn't do as much acting during the years where I owned Her Universe is because we were running a full-time business. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I highly encourage if anyone wants to run a business, trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. Anyone can do it. But it's a lot of work. And you need to understand that going into it, because when you own it and everyone else goes home at night, anything that's left over is dropped on your plate and there's nobody else to do it. And so, there was a period of time for about 4 years when I owned it, because I owned it for about 6 years total. So there's a period of about 4 years where I worked 365, like did not take a day off. Because you can't, like when it's your own business, you can't. So yeah, I'll tell him that you notice that, because you did everything.
Well, now also that you ran this business during the heyday of where we have cell phones, we have your email and everything's attached to your hip or in your hand. Quite frankly, so you were probably, if depending where you're because we live in a huge worldwide, global economy, where you were probably getting texts and stuff from at midnight or 3 a.m. or having meetings at crazy times. So just it's amazing, and I'm just gonna keep gushing because I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is just so inspirational.
It's funny because yes, that's the beauty and the beast of it, I guess you could say. The beauty is that, this cell phone really enabled me to grow a business because I had social media, which was free. We had no marketing budget. We had no PR budget in the beginning. It was literally word of mouth and free social media. But yes, I had to be accessible 24/7. And actually going to this question, when did you turn fashion into a movement for mental health? That's exactly what I was just about to talk about, because being so accessible and working nonstop and not taking any breaks definitely played a role on my mental health. Actually, what people don't realize is that stress can cause physical problems as well. So your mental health can affect you physically. And for me, because I was working so much and not taking care of myself and not getting enough sleep, it caused severe migraines. Like I was up to consecutive about 25 migraines consecutive every day for about, it got that bad for about 2 years. And yeah, it was.
How did you function?
I look back now, and I was essentially in survival mode. Like I wasn't really functioning, but there was no other option. So I've learned a lot about my own mental health and my own physical health and the connection. But in the middle of all of this, I was viciously cyberbullied for something that was a lie. There was literally no truth to it whatsoever. We had proof that there was no truth to it. But it just snowballed, and it kind of had a little bit of a viral moment. And I was actually on my book tour, and I had a stop on my book tour at Nationwide Children's Hospital. And I was there to help the patients and, and their families. And I was there to hopefully bring joy and help them. But in turn, I got to meet the doctors and the staff, and they are one of the leaders in our nation in children's mental health. They actually opened the first hospital on a children's hospital campus solely dedicated to mental health. So when you go into that hospital, that's all they're focusing on. There's an emergency room just for mental health. It's such a beautiful thing that this is available, and hopefully it will spread throughout our nation and all hospitals will have one. But here I showed up, and honestly, I was in my own crisis mode, dealing with this cyberbullying, and the hospital just like wrapped their arms around me, and the doctors talked to me, and they helped me. And unfortunately, sometimes on social media, you can't speak up for yourself. You can't stand up for yourself, because honestly, once it snowballs so far, nobody believes you. And so I felt like I had lost my voice, and I felt like my voice was taken away, because they did eventually, they were able to stop the bleeding. They were able to stop the comments, because again, we had proof that it just wasn't true. But I couldn't speak up for myself. And they told me, they said, Ashley, we advise that you just don't talk about it, because if you talk about it, then it's almost like adding a fan to the flames. So, and that was right when I was at the hospital. And I looked at the doctors and the hospital staff, and I said, I'm going to get my voice back by being a voice for others, because I'm an adult and I had so much support behind me, and it still messed with my head. It messed with my mind. If anyone's told you're an effing piece of trash and you should die, that messes with you. And I said, I can't imagine if I was a kid trying to deal with this on my own. The second leading cause of death for kids 12 to 19 is death by suicide. And I said, I will get my voice back by being a voice for others and speaking out about the importance of mental health. And so that's actually how it happened.
Which is our connection point, by the way. Our biggest connection point, you and Ashley.
Melanie, commercial.
Okay.
These are great stories, but I got to pay some bills. I'm sorry.
Go to commercial.
Sure, please continue to log on, student, and become part of the legend. Here we
go. Meet the doctor.
I'm the doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
Author Cindy Koepp is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Koepp at CKOEPP.com today.
Doctor Who Worlds Apart. You can check them out at Doctor Who-Worlds Apart. You can play for free when they start putting it up over here, and we are hoping very shortly you will be able to play, and you can play again for free, or you can purchase their packs if you want some good value on some cards. They do use blockchain technology on their cards, and once they get up and running, we will be playing, and you will be watching us live as we have some fun and, knock out Nisha's legendary card. Speaking of legendary, we're continuing our interview with the lovely Ashley Eckstein. And I know we had some questions in the chat over there. Ashley, I just have a quick question. Would you mind staying for a little bit of a half hour? You got to go after the hour.
I have about 15 extra minutes.
Okay, cool. We got some questions there in the chat there, but there we go. One of them is, hey, Ashley, how did you end up having Dan Madsen transition from Star Wars superfan to Her Universe staff member?
Well, I love this question. I'm so happy you asked it. Thank you, Terry. Because Her Universe would not be possible without Dan Madsen. Dan was with me from day one, before we even launched Her Universe. So when going back to the licensing conversation, when I got the license for Lucasfilm, I did not get the rights immediately to sell Her Universe in stores. So I only had the rights to sell Her Universe on our website, heruniverse.com, and at conventions and at limited events at Disney parks, because that's back when they did Star Wars weekends. Yes.
Yeah. Star Wars weekends.
So we had to start going to conventions. Well, I was pretty new to the convention world. And so the consultant that I hired, her name is Andrea Hine, to help me with licensing. She also stayed on for 6 years and continued to work with me with Her Universe. She helped me on the licensing side, but she said, I have just the person for you to help you with conventions. And she's like, he's the absolute expert on conventions. And it was Dan Madsen. So Dan started out originally just helping us get to conventions. And then eventually his role transitioned to be our publicist. But truly, I mean, I say it takes teamwork to make the dream work. But I also say, if you have just a core team, like build your inner circle of just your trusted people. I feel like all you need is like a small team or a small inner circle, and you can achieve anything. And Dan has, always been a part of my inner circle.
Cool beans. Just to let fans know, if you've asked a question, Ashley's kind enough to hold over into our after party 15 minutes longer, and we'll get to all your questions there. But Dave, I know you had a question for Ashley.
Before I get to the question, I just want to say, I'm going to go broke. Like, seriously, like I have 3 people that I can buy that hoodie for right now. But this is just all amazing stuff. Did you have any idea when you got the part, or even while you're sitting there in Toronto? And there are way worse places to be when you're an out of work actor than Toronto.
Oh, I love Toronto.
Did you have any idea that Ahsoka would blow up the way she has?
No, I didn't. Not at all. I had hoped, but my hope was that people would love her character and that they would accept her and that they would like her. Basically, my frame of reference was, and I mean, my husband and I joke because we always liked Jar Jar, but we just saw how terribly people acted towards Jar Jar and even bullied Ahmed Best. And so I was just like, I hope people don't react that way to her. But I never comprehended that people would relate to Ahsoka like they do today. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I get at least one, but usually it's like 5 to 10 lengthy DMs a day of stories from people about what Ahsoka means to them and how she's either changed their life or saved their life. I mean, literally saved their life. And it's so humbling to read these stories and the fact that she is so important to everyone. And that's why I pour so much of myself into Ahsoka. Because some people say, they're like, why are you, why are you so involved? Why, because some actors, they're like into their part when they're promoting it and then on to the next. And literally Ahsoka is a part of my heart and soul. And then when you see how much she means to people, it's like, no, this is more than a part. This is a character that is changing and saving lives. And I will do whatever I can to be a positive representative of her. And quite frankly, I try to be a real life version of her.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there's a saying that people always will go back to, like, I grew up with. So I think that's because so many of your formative years happen to be in your youth. And so you have a lot of, children growing up with Ahsoka or growing up with different characters. But in reality, and I think more and more people as they get into adulthood, they realize that doesn't ever stop. It's you grow with. And that's a constant thing that always happens. And even if you're a full-on adult and you're going back and you're watching, Clone Wars, or you're binging, there's certain aspects that's going to, yes, maybe on the timeline, Ahsoka's journey happened here, but you can still pick up those growth parts as an adult that finds that inspiration for you to persevere, to resist, there's a lot of adults, including here, that found the Fulcrum was just absolutely amazing. So there's that kind of aspect to it too.
Well, back when Ahsoka first appeared on Rebels, right when she walked down that ladder and introduced herself to the Ghost Crew, I tweeted that hashtag Ahsoka Lives. I actually started that hashtag based upon the old phrase Darth Vader lives. And so I just tweeted out Ahsoka Lives, and it meant just that, Ahsoka lives. But last year I updated it to say Ahsoka lives in all of us. Because I feel like at this point, Ahsoka, like, we all have a piece of Ahsoka in our hearts and in our souls, and we literally take her with us throughout our everyday life. And it's kind of like the scene from Rise of Skywalker where Rey reaches out and she says, be with me, be with me. It's almost like Ahsoka, that voice is in people's heads, and she's saying, like, let the light guide you as it guided us. Like, she's telling you, what to do. And we all take a piece of Ahsoka with us. So I think at this point, whether she lives or not, which I hope she lives for a very long time, but whether she lives or not, I think she lives on in all of us now.
Melanie, I'm just going to run the commercial, and I know Nisha had a question before we run to the end of the audio portion of our show. Is it all right if I go ahead and run it? Did you?
Yeah, go ahead and run it, because then we need to lead out with the her universe and what's going on
tomorrow.
That's true.
You got it. Hang tight. Here we go. Last commercial break.
The massive audio Doctor Who Bad Wolf Bluetooth TARDIS speaker. That's all I got to say. One word. Wow. It looks like it just jumped right off the screen. Here it is in all its Bad Wolf glory. Right here is the on-off switch and the up and down volume. Right here's the speaker. The TARDIS stands about 6 inches from the bottom of the TARDIS all the way up to the top where the light is. Look at the detail. Wow.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. The official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Flaw, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
And for those of you joining us, welcome to Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Ashley has been kind enough to stay 15 minutes after our show into the after party. So if you have any comments, we'll get to them into the after party. We just want to wrap up the episode. But Nisha, you had a question. How do you want to do this, Melanie? You want to run the clip?
Go ahead. Question. Hurry up.
Nisha, go ahead and run the question. And we got a 3-minute clip for Ashley.
Yeah. So Hey, Ash. So good to see you again. It's been forever. So, the Ahsoka Lives movement is what everyone calls it because it's a fact. It's a movement of personal perspective and awareness of self. And, the moment you hashtagged it out, it changed the lives of your fans and yourself as well. And so has the Her Universe fashion show. Tell me, how has having that type of impact on the fandom and your fans' lives influence the changes you're making in your business model or just in your choices as you move forward as in acting and in the industry?
Well, thank you as always, for your kind words and incredible support. It means the world to me. And I hope our paths cross in person soon. But I feel like Ahsoka actually taught me two very important lessons. And one is more a motto and then one's a lesson in 2020. The quote from the final season of Clone Wars where she says, "In my life, when you find people who need your help, you help them no matter what. I guess it's just who I am." And that really resonated with me. And I just, as I mentioned, I just so badly want to be a real life version of Ahsoka. And, that line just kind of put it all in perspective of like, okay, well, when you see people in need, you help them no matter what. And I've always found that by helping others, I help myself. But then also last year, it was brought to my attention that Ahsoka is kind and that kindness is powerful. And it's one of the things that makes her most powerful. And so I think, we oftentimes look at kindness as a weakness because people say, oh, you got to be tough. And, but actually it's the opposite. Like being kind is incredibly powerful, and not only to others, but to yourself. Being kind to yourself, and sometimes that does mean kind of walking away from toxic situations, and that being kind to yourself is really important. And so I think I don't know, I keep those two things in mind, especially of like, okay, I wake up in the morning, it's like what can I do to help people today? And then in moments where I can show kindness, I always try to do my best.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Melanie, we have a clip.
Yes. We have a clip for everybody that has been listening to the podcast, been watching the show live on YouTube with our partners at Wizard World on Facebook. You've heard Her Universe's fashion show, and that's because San Diego Comic-Con at home is kicking off tomorrow. So we're all at home again. We're going to be enjoying a little bit of SDCC, but we get to virtually watch the fashion show. So now everybody gets to come along and can make popcorn and enjoy some absolutely amazing fashion that's coming, just couture fashions. And then on top of it, we're going to get to see some new things from Her Universe. So let's go ahead and watch a little bit of a clip that Ashley and her team sent us along.
Woo! And just let people know, we're going to be ending the audio portion of our show right after the clip. So we want to thank everybody who's listening to us on iHeartRadio, on iTunes, wherever you're listening on your favorite podcast. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Ashley Eckstein. She's going to stay for just a little bit, but we're going to run the clip now. And again, everybody, for those of you listening us out there, thank you for logging on, tuning in, and becoming part of the legend.
The theme for this year's show is the power of fashion. Inspired by She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, tonight we celebrate geek couture designs that are influenced by powerful characters, stories, and themes. We also celebrate the power of friendship. The Her Universe fashion show community has become a supportive alliance of designers and fans. It's a community that empowers, inspires, and works together to lift each other up. She-Ra and the Princesses of Power remind us that we are more powerful when we join forces. We often use strong characters like She-Ra as inspiration and reminders that fashion should evoke emotion. We design an outfit like we would design armor. Your outfit should prepare you for the daily battle of life. Our Her Universe designs are always intended to make the wearer feel powerful, because to me, fashion is more than a look. It's a statement. Now, it's my hope that everyone who watches our show is inspired by the power of fashion. I hope the designs evoke emotion and remind us that we are all on the edge of greatness.
And welcome. Oh, hi.
That's the reminder for tomorrow, because if you notice the clip, it did say 2019 on it. So just to remember, the Her Universe Fashion Show 2021 goes virtual. Again, I did the screenshot just, today. So, that's why it says one day. So if you're happening to be watching this show today on, Thursday, well, remember, it's Friday, July 23rd at 5 p.m. Pacific time. You can go ahead and go on to SDCC at home or Comic-Con at home on YouTube. That's where it's actually going to be. So everyone else will link up over there, but make sure you're watching.
Oh, wait a minute. What does 13 think about this?
She's not plussed.
Oh my god! Nice. I love it.
Oh my god! And if you just happen to be at Space Coast Comic-Con, for all the ladies or guys out there who are going to be cosplaying 13, remember there's a specific new album in the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS for all of you who cosplay 13. It's actually entitled "No Sir, All 13s," and it is every 13 that we've taken with the picture with the Traveling TARDIS there. So, as promised, we're going to try to get to all the chats that we've had in the. And I thank you, Ashley, for staying with you. When you need to leave, you need to leave. So, okay. So, Dave, you got it? Okay. Willer Schuyler asked, how do you respond to those people that are all about the Star Wars canon and feel Ahsoka should not have been Anakin's Padawan?
Ooh. Those people make me angry. Sorry.
We'll pretend that question didn't show up.
No, I feel like there's less and less of those people now. Yeah. I mean, they're certainly entitled to their opinion, but I do feel like Ahsoka has earned her place in the Star Wars canon at this point.
Well, I've heard the alternative that she should have been Obi-Wan's. Some of those people think that Anakin shouldn't have been given a Padawan because of responsibility.
But then she wouldn't have become Snips.
But no, I'm not saying I'm one of those people, but I'm saying that is what I've heard, is not necessarily that Ahsoka shouldn't be a part of canon, but that Anakin shouldn't have necessarily been given responsibility.
I think Ahsoka is who she is now because she was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. However, I think she survived because she's a mix of multiple, Jedi Masters. She learned from Obi-Wan. She learned from Yoda. She learned from Mace Windu. She learned from Luminara Unduli. So she's actually a melting pot and a hybrid of all of the different Jedi. And I think that's why she survived, actually.
And Rex.
I was going to say, and Rex.
I was going to say,
and Rex.
Because I was almost wondering when you had said that you felt that Ahsoka, you yourself are a little bit more like Ahsoka. And since Ahsoka kind of grew up to be almost like her and Rex became BFFs, would you be a best friend of Rex?
Oh, definitely.
Or he be just too by the book, too strong-willed and.
Oh no, definitely. I mean, and Dee Bradley Baker is one of my greatest friends. But yeah, I mean, I think Rex. It's like I can't find my words, but
that's okay.
You know what it is? Rex goes back to where in the very beginning where she says, "So if you're a captain and I'm a Jedi, technically I outrank you, right?" And he says, "Well, in my book, experience outranks everything, and it's because of Rex's experience and what he taught her through his experience." That yeah, I mean, I would absolutely be friends with someone like Rex. Anytime I see someone with experience, that means they have wisdom, and wisdom is so important and powerful.
Without Ahsoka and the way that Ahsoka was written, and the way that you played Ahsoka, the execution of Order 66, the Bad Batch, all of everything that comes after, the whole sequela wouldn't have existed. Wouldn't have been possible. And I don't think that we would have had that level of sentience in the clone troopers, or that we would have had that level of clarity even in Rex without the relationship that he had with Ahsoka.
Gotcha. Got a question from the 0 Point. Hello, everyone. Ashley, thanks for sharing your time with us. Great show. One question, well, maybe more than one, but we get a release on 13's pants?
Ooh, I will definitely tell the team. And tell them that there's some more fans that want the pants. So I'll share it with the Her Universe team.
And just real quick in terms of fashion, just quickly, with our universe, you're doing a lot more products that are more unisex, and you're also reaching in some old. So we're gonna see more rolling out of products that are much more gender fluid.
Yes, I mean, the amazing thing about being a part of the Hot Topic family of brands is that we are able to cater to everyone. So, women and girls, we actually just released some youth items this week, which is so exciting. Men and boys, and then gender fluid and unisex. It's very, very important to me. You've probably noticed, especially over the past 2 years, there's a lot more diversity in our models, and now we have our HU community. That was something that was very important to me. For the longest time, Her Universe was my personal channels, and that was just because I couldn't afford a marketing and social team. So it kind of became, I was free. So but Her Universe was never meant to just be me and represent my likes. I always wanted to grow it. I always wanted different models and everyone that looked different. And that was always my dream. So I'm thrilled that we were finally able to, to do that.
We got 2 comments, Ashley. Ashley, I'm going to butcher this. I'm sorry. Taryn, Ashley, you are such an inspiration. Her Universe is an absolutely incredible brand. Thank you for not only making beautiful nerd clothes, but also in plus size. I love you, and I love Ashoka. And there was one that was up here. There we go. Taryn Prue. Ashley, you are such an inspiration. Her Universe is absolutely incredible. Oh, is it the same one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No.
I love you, and I love Ahsoka. Thank you for bringing her to life.
Thank you.
Karen wrote both in both channels.
And for those of you staying afterwards, I just got this update. Wizard World. Thank you for watching this amazing interview with Ashley Eckstein by the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Your exclusive Wizard World Vault promo code is coming. Stay tuned. So hang tight there. Woo. And I think we have one more question. If you've got a few seconds. Sure. I got to find it.
Ashley.
There was a good one out there. I'm working on it.
I know. I'm like looking, going, what?
Well, I'll read this one. I'm not going to necessarily
watching this and
it.
just enjoying hearing everything.
I know, right?
They love it that I'm the producer now. I'm not hosting the show at the moment. There, Ashley, quick question: why decide to put men's clothing at her universe? I thought it was for girls only. I hope to see you soon again. I thought we answered that question there. We did answer that question. Gotcha.
We did.
But another fun side fact as a testament for what Jessica was bringing up when it comes to her universe gear, it is very quality made, and that you can run in it. So I have
climb a mountain.
You can climb mountains in it, and I've worn my dress is over there. I have the Han Solo skater kind of A-line dress, and I've done I can't tell you how many 5Ks and 10Ks in that, and it's perfect.
Yep.
It's wonderful. You can run in this gear, people.
We've watched this for how many years, and that's still there. Can you?
That's amazing.
Can you imagine all these years later? It's ridiculous.
She hasn't washed it, and it's really stinking up. And really like it if just hand wash something.
You weren't supposed to tell her.
Same thing, still from Geek City Radio. We need Ashley and David Eckstein to attend Star Wars Night here in St. Louis at Busch Stadium next year. I'll bring the lightsabers. There you go. Let's get this. What do you think about Rosario Dawson? Yeah, we'll make it the last one. Rosario Dawson in The Mandalorian. Do you guys collab at all?
Unfortunately, I've never met her. We didn't get to collab or anything. I hope one day that we get to meet. But I have to say, when I say Team Tano, I mean it. There's such a big team that makes up Ahsoka Tano, and I'm just one part of it. From day one, there's been animators and writers and people that work on lighting and in marketing and everything. Mm-hmm. So, that's why when Rosario's episode came out, I welcomed her to Team Tano. And, to me, Ahsoka has always been bigger than me. And, I just want more Ahsoka for everyone. I said Ahsoka lives in all of us now. And if she is literally changing and saving lives like she is, I hope Ahsoka will continue for many years to come. So yeah, I'm just thrilled that we are getting so much Ahsoka.
I need to ask a birthday favor.
Oh, sure. Is it your birthday?
It will be, because you will be at Fanboy Expo August the 20th.
Don't be that person.
What's that? I am that person. Well,
sorry, I'm the person.
No. I'm gonna, if I get this wrong, you can say no and it won't hurt my feelings, but it is a birthday gift. I will be there August the 20th, which is my birthday. We actually had a gentleman. I didn't even notice. This is, we did an interview with Kevin McNally from Pirates of the Caribbean. He was in Doctor Who, and he played Gibbs in the Pirates of the Caribbean. He is also going to be there. I did not know you two, on the same week that we're doing these two interviews, were going to be together at Fanboy Expo. All I'm asking is if I can get both of your pictures together, because I'm going to meme this, the pirate and the princess.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm going to ask. If I can go there.
I would be honored to do that.
Thank you.
We'll see you at Fanboy. I think all of us are there. So
yes. I can't wait. Well, I unfortunately have to run to a rehearsal, but I can't thank you all enough for doing this and having me on the show. And
absolutely wrong direction. We should be we're thanking
We're thanking you. Yeah.
You don't need to thank us at all.
Thank you.
This was so fun. And if on my Instagram page, which is just at Ashley Eckstein, the link in my bio is the direct link to watch the show tomorrow night. So the Her Universe Fashion Show is at 8 p.m. East Coast time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And the big thing is the audience can vote. So we have an audience winner. So by the end of the show, you will find out who the judges winner is. But you will not find out who the audience winner is because the audience at home is voting. So we need everyone to vote. Voting will be open until 11:59 p.m. PST on Sunday. So we'll know the audience winner by Monday, and then we will announce the audience winner on Wednesday with a link to an updated version of the show to include the audience winner.
That's amazing. But
Ashley, thank you so much.
But yeah, anytime you want to come back just to promote anything, absolutely. Even just us to forward along whatever amazing magic you're doing. Please let us know. We would be
Ashley's a huge Doctor Who fan. We didn't even get to that part.
We only got an hour.
We didn't even talk about it. So next show.
Wait a minute, you think she's a Doctor Who fan? Really?
But thank you.
Well, thank you all so much. I'll see you at Fanboy Expo soon.
Absolutely.
August 20th through 22nd at the Wyndham Plaza on International Drive. Ashley, thank you.
And may the force be with you.
And also with you.
I know.
All right, I'm the host now.
What is this? Mutiny. No.
Mutiny. It's the captain taking the ship back.
Go back to my corner.
Oh, thanks, Tan.
That's so
okay, well, everybody, this kind of just dropped on us, and we want to thank Wizard World for dropping in on us.
Also, surprise, we're here on Thursday, so that probably was also another point where everyone was like, "What? There's a show now? What?
Yes.
What?
Surprise!
Yeah,
Surprise!"
Tardis 25 is your exclusive
with our new host
for Wizard World. You know what?
Jessica,
I could do this all. I could do this all day.
We're being moved around. But yes, Tardis 25 is your exclusive promo code for Wizard World's Vault at wizardworld.com.
Welcome to my show.
Oh goodness. So yes, everybody, we're gonna be at Fanboy Expo. But that's mostly as a attendee kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know if anyone really is going to be there from an exhibit spot. So
we're just gonna
put a note on Facebook. Put a note to us. If you want to hang out or anything, let us know.
Are you going there as an
buy me a drink
or as a
for Fanboy?
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't heard back from them. So not sure.
What happened is when I went through I'll pull it up.
I mean, I'll go of course, be with you guys always, but
I just thought it was funny. I was literally going through because I knew Ashley was going to be there.
Yes, Ashley will be there at Fanboy Expo. So if you're in the Orlando area, she will be at Fanboy. She's not going to be at MegaCon, and I know the two are really close together. So
it's fine. I'm like breathing here.
Sorry, guys, you have to know we're nerding like nuts because Anakin
and Ahsoka are going to be there, and Kevin McNally, who we had.
So I saw. I was scrolling down. It's like I knew Ashley was going to be there, and this is going to be
her. Okay, just have to say that.
But then I was scrolling down, and then I just saw, and I went like, "Holy cow, he's going to be there too!"
For other just Star Warsy news, is if you're going to be at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, Daniel Logan, so young Boba Fett will be there.
Yes.
He also was the voice of all of the young cadets and young Boba on the Clone Wars. So.
Alpha.
Yes, I'm right now.
Alpha,
I'm so into the Clone Wars. It's stupid right
Spoilers.
now. I'm doing a rewatch.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! I have the which one? I have it.
I found Hawk.
Look!
I'm going nuts trying to find Echo.
These are all my clones. I got Cody and Wolf and Rex and Fives. I love Fives.
I can't find Five. Hang on.
He was okay. So he was my
guys. This just became a Star Wars.
I know,
thing.
But he was my Easter gift, and literally Harrison came in. He handed me a Nerf gun, and he said, he was holding a Nerf gun, and he goes, "Find him, find Fives, find him." And I'm like, "You evil prick!"
Really?
Yeah,
that's me.
He would do that. Oh my god!
I found Fives, and now I have Fives. So
I miss Fives.
Oh my god!
Wait, who is?
That's Hunter and Crosshair.
Welcome to the legend of the Traveling Tardis.
A compilation set that we're not getting until November, and it's with Ahsoka, the one where she's in all the different like you could pose her, and it comes with the clone troopers. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What the heck is it?
There's so many of them on pre-order that the pre-orders have sold out, and I'm just kind of like, I have to go aftermarket for, and I think that's one of them. Some of the Ahsoka ones. I'm going nuts trying to find a Rex now.
You need
to make her look like Rex.
Rika. You need Rika.
I love that.
You need Rika.
Tampa Bay Comic-Con, July 30th through August 1st. We're going to be there.
Actually, I think Timothy Zahn's going to be there.
Yep.
Timothy Zahn,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, he's
Timothy
great.
Zahn's going to be at Fanboy or TVCC?
There's Daniel Logan.
Oh, I love Timothy.
I think Zahn will be there.
Find out what's going on with the Thrawn series, maybe?
Ooh, I just finished Treason and
I have it. It's in here, ready to go.
The Legend of the Traveling.
Can you guys tell we're Star Wars fan and which ones of us it might be?
So when are
There's
we
my
doing?
Her Universe dress. I had it over there in the corner.
I'm just watching you guys.
I know.
Sorry.
Hello.
I mean,
sorry, y'all.
Just Dave and I just sitting in a corner. Oh, let me do this.
This is my other Rika.
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
I just got all the new ones. So
I
that's
love cake. Did you see my caligari?
So literally, okay, spoilers for Bad Batch, but quite literally, I have a new cosplay because I was going to do an older version of a particular Twi'lek. So now I can do the younger one because I'm short.
Listen, I should join you.
I want to be Hauser.
I can be the other person. Let me do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
What?
Girl, that's it. We're in. Sorry, guys. We're nerding.
What are you doing?
Planning cosplays, apparently. It's fine.
Well, somebody needs to find me a freaking cosplayer that does Bly. Because I have the Ayla Sakura. I have it down. I have it. I need a Bly. Yeah.
Okay, listen, I've done that. Do this. We need to do this.
I've done Ayla. Hold up. I'll go find
you. Know what? Let me just do this, Dave.
Sorry, guys.
We'll just be here in the corner down here.
Ayla Sakura would be
no, even better. Yeah, exactly.
There we go. This is better. Okay, so
welcome to the traveling Greiloff.
Yes,
we are traveling
the
from
Marauder.
Yeah,
traveling
from Greiloff. Yes, we are the Twi'leks from Greiloff.
Yeah, the Twi'leks.
And we are traveling.
That's right. So you got to get really. I always love that scene when Hera was yelling at her father, and all of a sudden she just jumped right into the French because she just went
right into it.
I love it so much.
This to me is really family because if you
it's
start
so true.
Because it
if
is
you move
very
away. That's what I love about it.
We have to do a Syndulla family cosplay. Come on.
Yes, I can't wait to see your hair.
Let's just make that happen. Come on.
I know. I've been dreading.
Taryn, you're making her head bigger than it should be. It won't be able to fit on camera.
Hold on, I gotta find
fit in my Leiku, honestly.
Now Syndulla.
Oh.
Okay, so this is on a phone, so I'm going to apologize right now.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's great.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, but you can't really see it because now it's all blurry. But yeah, they were Echo and Fives.
I love Fives.
Yeah,
if Disney ever did a meet and greet with clones, I would find a Bly. I would wait in every single line to meet every single different clone. Disney has it made. They literally can go wait in line for Fives, and I would be in that line for 20 hours because I want to meet Fives.
I'm still completely and utterly on team. I want Tamara Morrison in every. I want to see him as Rex. I want to see him as Rex. I want to see him as Gregor, and I want to see him as Wolf. And I want to see who else is out there. Go find me Dogma. Because he was all frozen somewhere. Go find me.
Dogma would be an amazing.
Go find me Kix.
To have a conversation with. Can you imagine conversing with Dogma?
Have you seen the Hot Toys, Melanie? The clone Hot Toys. They've put Tam's face.
She's got a little Omega going.
Clones.
A little Omega,
You do know that Sideshow made a 2-pack of Fives and Echo.
That's where I got mine from. That was Sideshow.
But Hot Toys has made Echo and has made or is in pre-order.
But they make the Tam face with the blonde hair. It's a little freaky actually.
And they've got Hunta also. If anybody is hearing my words and talking about that Hot Toys is doing Echo.
Say it correctly.
Just so you know, there could be spoilers in it because there's certain extra pieces they're making, and they've shown them in photos. And I'm going, he doesn't have that in the Bad Batch yet. So there could be spoilers in there. FYI, if you start looking through stuff.
So don't go looking through stuff.
Don't go. You know, it's kind of like how my husband went and when the Phantom Menace came out, and he went full on. Went and got toys, all this kind of stuff. He gets the Anakin figure. He opens it up, and the arm fell off. And he goes, "Huh?
It's broken."
Yeah, and then he realized, he literally thought it was broken, and then went, there's a magnet. This was before the movie came out, so it's like
I did that with the soundtracks, because I'm a huge fan of John Williams.
That happened to us too.
So like I got episode 3 score, and I'm sitting there like Anakin's dark deep. I mean, we knew what was going to happen, but like
Phantom Menace had the title track "Death of Qui-Gon."
Yeah.
Before the movie came out, so we're like,
you're like, so he's not making it
flipping discs.
Oh my goodness!
And that's why they stopped doing that. You can't get the scores ahead of time anymore.
Yes, yeah. We got Echo back, and Filoni, please bring me fives. Bring fives back.
I would love to see an Echo cosplay, and I just mean the real deal Echo cosplay. That's just so much work.
Oh yeah.
Oh my lord.
Psycho?
Sorry, my cats are crazy.
But yeah, this is just now a Star Wars thing. Okay, we're gonna start a Star Wars podcast. If anybody's
apparently we're still on the Doctor Who one.
Yeah, we're still on the Doctor Who one.
We still have viewers, so
my friend Moises and I, who was out at the beginning, he signed on just to watch this. He subscribed just so he could watch this interview. Myself, and Jyoti have been like doing this small little side blog. We call it the Holocron Bulletin. So yeah, where we do this kind of stuff.
I can talk about the Force for years. Quite literally.
Oh, you only got 2 more minutes to do that.
I can answer this question too, but go ahead.
I understand the Force beyond a lot of people, and I will talk about it for forever. It's honestly, I'm like a person that knocks on your door to talk about religion with the Force.
I mean, it is.
Have you heard about the light side of the Force?
It's the most connective force of a connective spiritual practice in existence.
Star Wars podcast.
Just saying.
Yes. Yes. I can tell you my fan theories. Of why Omega has blonde hair. Hashtag Rex.
Dave's gone. Dave has left.
Like, nope, I'm out.
He's like, I'm gonna eat. Where's the popcorn? Let's go. Are we ready? Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have
light side, dark side. We have
Jessica and Melanie. We're gonna do this as soon as.
Are we going Sunday? Am I wearing my Ayla?
About those cookies, the Sith only deal in absolutes. That means they only have one recipe and one type of cookie. The light side does not deal in absolutes, which means we have every different type of cookie and multiple recipes based off of what type of cookie you would like. Therefore, the light side cookies are better.
That makes me angry. Anger is power. I forget the whole deal.
I have to. Okay, so my first science fiction fandom of yours was Star Wars. I'm trying to really think back in my brain, and I want to say that was probably my first real fandom. I mean, I watched Doctor Who with my father. I remember it because it was Tom Baker. But fandom, it was probably either that or possibly Star Trek. But again, when I was that little, it was a lot of it was who had the remote. If my brother had the remote, we were watching Star Wars. If my dad had the remote, we were watching Star Trek. So I don't know which one was my first, though. My brain doesn't work.
Just in case, here's the fault.
For me, it was
You should.
What did you say?
Go on eBay.
For me, it was definitely Star Wars.
Contrast.
I remember collecting all the original runs of toys.
I have Hera and Kane. I have Era and Kanan. Hold on, we're throwing off Star Wars crap.
Yes. See, the bad thing is my collection. We're going to go back to Doctor Who real quick. My collection for Doctor Who toys is Funko, but I have a lot of Big Chief stuff. I say a lot, but not.
I have Chopper.
I have enough.
And Era and Thrawn with a Calicori. But
anyway, you do? Just to jump in,
I have a Calicori too. Yeah, and a Tupa doll.
Wizard World Vault.
Oh yeah.
And use TARDIS code TARDIS 25.
Ooh, let's.
Oh, is there anything Star Wars on there?
Do you see this?
Wait, let me check. I can't enlarge anything. I don't think.
What about Icar?
Do they have anything?
You see my Doc Saber? You see my Doc Saber?
Do they have anything signed by Tamura Morrison?
So there is the armorer. They do have the armorer signed pop figure. Yeah.
Do they have a Tim? Anything?
One of 84 page. Damn. Okay, we got a lot of stuff here.
So yeah, if you want stuff that's really cool, go to their page because
I'm looking.
And then you get a. Is it how? Wait, how much?
They have great stuff.
What's the promo code give you?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I was actually going to test it out.
Test it out.
Let's see.
Buy me something. I'll buy myself something. Hold on. Going in. I'm going in, y'all.
Well, I'm putting mine up here, okay?
Well, I
got Doctor
being
Who.
a shill.
Let's
Doctor
see. Louise. Let's
Where is
find.
Vault? Daily deals.
No, I don't have anything aside from Karen Gillan, so let's check it out. Let's add to the cart. Let's see if this. Let's go to the shopping cart.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I could find GF5s.
Check out.
Oh, a lot of stuff.
Oh, I don't want to give that. Well,
makes me
I just want to see if this works. I'm sure it does. You get. I think it's 25% off. Yeah.
That's what I think it said.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I put Target's 25.
yeah.
It's $50, so it took $12.50 off. That's 25% off.
Wow.
That's
so
awesome.
25% off of the vault.
That's...
And you just saw in there what I was going nutso about that. But yeah, you get 25% off.
There's Jedi stud earrings. Sorry.
So Sideshow has an Echo and a Rex.
Eker.
And the Hunter.
Rex and Hunter.
Rex and Hunter.
Iker.
And fun little fact with the Bad Batch.
Too much fun with that accent.
With Ricka and Omega, when they go get their Mantel mix for their victories, the Mantel mix is actually the mix from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
And it's so good.
It's Batu mix, but they couldn't call it Batu mix because it just didn't make sense.
It's not from Batu.
Because it's not from Batu. So they called it Mantel mix. But if you go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, you get a thing of Batu mix. Look at it. Look at what's being used. They made that. They animated. That's what Mantel mix is.
I will warn anyone though. So I love it, but I love a little bit of kick and things. So it's like a blueberry spicy.
It's red pepper.
Corn. Yeah. Oh, and it's great. I love it because you get the sweet and the spicy and those kind of complement each other if you're okay with it. But if you like those flavors together, you can absolutely go to Docking Bay 7 and get a corn muffin that has blueberries in it and a little bit of cayenne pepper. It's so good. That one's not as spicy as the Mantel mix, but I love my spice. So not
as nerdy. Cayenne pepper on apple slices.
Ooh. I love
that.
Really good.
I love anything spicy,
It's
to
so
be
good.
honest. What type of apples?
Pick one.
Okay, because I'm
Any
a Granny
apple,
Smith person.
Green apples.
I was going to say green apples.
Green.
Put some,
Absolutely.
a little bit
like
of
me
cayenne on
You
it.
need sweet in there. Green apples.
Oh,
Green apple.
Red to me has always been like too soury.
Where's
If
my
I'm-
share my
anybody-
Honey Crisp. So good with anything
Honey
on
Crisp.
it. I am completely allergic to cayenne, so it was not. I would love it, but don't have it. I know.
So
That's why I can't have
25% off of merchandise at Wizard World.
Y'all.
Check it.
Look
Whoa.
at
V5.
Oh.
Sign it.
Somebody buy this for me.
Which one?
She said out to the internet.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm worried somebody actually would buy it for you. That's what scares
It's
me.
Logan, it's Bullock, and it's Tamura.
So I don't know if you can see
All right,
that was me on
doctors.
top of the
Here's
mountain.
your chance. Bid for your chance to be the next one to
Oh my
get painted,
God,
doctors.
no.
I know, right? Oh my God, that's how you.
Which doctor gets it?
Welcome to
Can
the
you guys
first
see that view?
there.
Because it's
That I've never seen the photo and
There we go. Thank you.
it's
Sorry.
on my
Aw.
Instagram.
Wow,
So if
yeah.
anyone wants to see it, it's like I can see about 20 different mountains from that one spot.
Wow.
And it is the last half mile was I pushed my body to its limits, but it was worth it because it was gorgeous. So
Thank
if you
you,
get a chance to hike a mountain, do it.
Thank you, doctors.
hang on, I'm trying to find. Oh, I should.
I have
stop
lots of
streaming
those.
so you all don't
No,
see
thank
everything.
We don't
No, I
have
was
to
going
go.
to tell you is another piece of Comic-Con at home. Not only can you watch the fashion show tomorrow, again, go to Ashley Eckstein's Instagram page. She has the link there. You can go ahead and watch it from there. But to go ahead and be a little bit more of a self-shilling my own stuff and some of this stuff. Supporting also other artists that could not go to the Comic-Con this year. Comic-Con at home also is doing their art show virtually, and that's another thing I am thankfully part of it. But yes, at Comic-Con at Home, their art show is also on there, and it's going to show off a lot of our artists that are up there. You can click there, and then it'll go to your to my Etsy shop from there. But you can go on there. So if there's a lot of the artists that you miss going to Artist Alley and all that kind of stuff, especially getting stuff from either the art show or the supporting the artists over at San Diego Comic-Con. Go to Comic-Con at Home, and you can find that stuff there too.
And if you're lacking the credits, it's the best way for you to attend to that particular San Diego Comic-Con, because it's
Hey, it's cheaper than flying out there. I'll say
a lot cheaper.
Not that I want to.
Look, there's Doctor Who. Hi, baby.
Not that I want to end the chat, but Wizard World's kicking us out. So, thank you, folks, for joining us. Don't forget to catch Melanie, Jessica, and Nisha on their new Star Wars podcast. They're I think it's happening.
It's going to be called Women of the Galaxy, I think.
Yes, it'll be on either Wednesday or Thursday nights.
Whenever they can get their act together.
Well, hey, it looks like Thursday night's a good night for it.
Look at that. Guess what? Thursday night, Star Wars. We're going to be talking about Bad Batch. We're going to be talking about Clone Wars, and we're going to go deep cuts. So this is.
Oh, you better bring it, because you have the three of us, and
yes, we're going to have fun.
Anyway, I got to end the show because Wizard World's kicking us out. Don't forget TARDIS 25 at the Wizard World Vault. Don't forget to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Our goal is to try to get 2,000 by the end of the month, 5,000 by the end of the year. Promo code 25. Go to the Wizard World Vault and get, apparently we've tested it, 25% off merchandise.
TARDIS 25.
TARDIS 25. Woo! We want to thank Ashley Eckstein. We want to thank also Kevin McNully for joining us this week. Next week, unless the schedule changes, our topic next week, next Tuesday, will be about who should have stayed is the topic.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Who should have stayed? Companions that were one-offs that should have been who should have stayed in the TARDIS. So all those people who could have been potential companions, and you can get into the chat with us. What's that?
I said Astrid. Kylie Minogue.
She died.
Mm-hmm. Oh, heck yeah.
I'd subscribe. Oh my God, you already got your first subscriber.
Kylie Minogue, for sure.
Thank you so much, everybody. Please stay safe out there. Please log on. And again, thank you. This next Friday through Sunday, if you're in the Tampa area, Tampa Bay Comic-Con, don't forget to get your tickets now, and we'll see you.
You'll see me.
You'll see her.
You see me too. I have a panel, and I have two panels. So.
You're coming, right, Jessica?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to see
Jessica?
We're
all together. What?
I don't know if I can.
Yes, thank you. And we love Wizard World. Thank you guys over there, Wizard World. Thank you.
Apparently I'm being summoned. I got to go. See?
Melanie, meet me in 5. Oh my!
What? That's how I can get my paintings done. I use.
We don't have to go home, but we can't stay here. Thank you, folks.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye. Please be part of the legend.